You want to be somebody greater than the person you are today. You see yourself succeeding, you have a vision, you have a dream. Congratulations. You're already 10 steps ahead of 95% of the world. Imagine if Michael Jordan was scared of missing. He would have never taken a shot. Imagine if Steve Jobs was afraid of people not liking his product. There would be no iPhone. So ask yourself this: do you want to be a person who fears failure, or do you want to be a person who loves success? Which one? Because you're gonna have to pick today. And I'll tell you one thing: one is a failure and one is a success. And if you love success, there is nothing that can stop you. All those negative things people say will mean nothing. They're gonna talk about how only 1% make it to the top. Big deal. Wanna know something else? Only 1% stick with that fitness program long enough to see results. Only 1% of nerds stick with that video game long enough to get good at it. Only 1% of relationships stick it out to the end. That doesn't mean you have a 1% chance. It just means you can't behave like the 99%. You'll have to do something better than giving up a month from now. Those are just numbers. You want to talk about numbers? Take a look around you and take a good look around you. Are you like 99% of the people around you? If you are, then you're in the wrong video, my friend. You have to love success just as much, because that's what's gonna allow you to get up and go for it. Being scared to fail won't do anything. In fact, when you love success and you start going for it, guess what happens? You're gonna fail. You're gonna fail 10 times, 100 times, maybe even 1,000 times. But that's okay. Failure isn't permanent. Falling isn't permanent. You get right back up and keep going. And this time, you're gonna be stronger, wiser, and you'll be more driven than ever. And for every 10 failures, you'll land one success. You have to love success so much that you're willing to fail 10 times before you can succeed once. That's how a winner does it.
First half, I'm not gonna lie. They had us. We weren't defeated, but they had us. But it took guts, it took an attitude. That's all it takes. That's all it takes to be successful, is an attitude. And that's what our coach told us. He said, hey, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be hard. You're gonna go out there, you're gonna battle, you're gonna fight, you're gonna do it for one, you're gonna do it for one another. Do it for each other, you're gonna do it for yourself, you're gonna do it for us, and you're gonna go out with this win. And we believe that, we truly did. And it's an awesome feeling. It's an awesome feeling when you truly believe that you're going to be successful. Regardless of the situation, regardless of the scoreboard, you're going to be successful because you put in all the time, all the effort.
Misses that shot, can't land it. So it is going to be that retake scenario. Crims has the kit.
Running close towards CT, Zivnik spots 3 of them out, but it's Olof again to find Device, and Olof coming in with 4. He wants the ace, and he gets it. There we go. What a superstar performance from that man.
I was walking down the street and I saw an old man. Had a hat, suspenders, and a cane. Was about 80 years old. This old man was barely walking. He could walk, but the cane helped a lot. He was struggling. So anyway, he was walking across the street and he ended up falling. So I went over to go help him. And he gets up, says thank you, and we introduced ourselves. Had a little conversation. Told me his name and I told him mine. His name was Robert, by the way. And right as he walked away, I told him, this is what I said. Robert, you should stay inside where it's safe, my friend. And Robert turns around and says to me, I love walking, and I love walking way more than I'm afraid of falling. So I ask him, well, what about your safety? Don't you want to live? And he told me this. These are the exact words he said. He said this: Solo, living means doing what you love to do. And if I have to fall here and there to do what I want to do in life, then so be it. And he just walked away. Never saw him again. That was it. But that statement really had me thinking, and it had me thinking hard, because I learned something that day. That's when I realized the true key to success. You see, I always thought if I could just fear the act of failing, and if I fear it like crazy, I will succeed. Because I thought the fear would magically motivate me to get out there and start taking action. But after that day, I realized something. I realized it's the love for success that will lead me to succeeding. So just imagine if Robert feared falling. Would he even start walking? Of course not. He wouldn't even do what he loved to do. He would sit at home and take no type of action. But he loved walking. Wasn't even scared to fall. It gave him life. That's what allowed him to get up and do it. He loved walking so much, he was willing to fall 10 times a day just to do it. And you have to be the same. So the next time someone tells you, you're gonna fail, you know what you tell them? Tell them they're right. But you're not afraid to fail. You're not afraid to take action. You're not afraid to jump. You're gonna fail 10 times, but you know what? It's cool. Because on the 11th time, you'll succeed. Oh, you'll succeed, all right. And it'll feel good. And while you're over here living the life of your dreams and complete happiness, guess where they're gonna be? That's right. They'll be failures, the real failures. Over there where it's safe, scared to fail. Ironic, isn't it?
Great life is built not by revolution. A great life is built by evolution. Small and steady wins the race. What you do every day is far more important than what you do once every decade. I want you to really think about that idea. What you do every day is simply your life in miniature. And as you live every single day, so you're crafting your life. What you do over the next hours is really building your future. And if you can just get every single pocket of 24 hours right as best as we humanly can, the rest of our life is going to take care of itself. So small wins matter.
The scripture says we will eat the fruit of our words. You are planting seeds when you talk. At some point, you're going to eat that fruit. My challenge is make sure you're planting the right kind of seeds. If you want apples, you have to sow apple seeds. If you want oranges, you can't plant cactus seeds, poison ivy seeds, mushroom seeds. You're going to reap fruit from the exact seeds that you've been sowing. In other words, you can't talk negative and expect to live a positive life. You can't talk defeat and expect to have victory. You can't talk lack, not enough, can't afford it, never get ahead, and expect to have abundance. If you have a poor mouth, you're going to have a poor life. If you don't like what you're seeing, start sowing some different seeds. We may not realize it, but we're always feeding ourselves. What we watch, listen to, the people we're around, the thoughts we're dwelling on, that's feeding our inner man. If you go to lunch with people that talk bad about the boss, make fun of a coworker, put down a friend, they're feeding you gossip, feeding you jealousy, feeding you disrespect. Here's the key. Whatever you feed is going to grow. You may not like what they're feeding you. You're a nice person. But if you continue to hang around them, before long, you'll be gossiping. You'll be critical. You'll be disrespectful. Why? Because you kept feeding the wrong things. If you're always feeding negative thoughts, thinking, I'll never get well, I'll never meet the right person, you're feeding doubt, feeding mediocrity, feeding fear.
If you know exactly what you want to be, you need to spend as much time with people that are actually that already. You cannot let a fear of failure, or a fear of comparison, or a fear of judgment stop you from doing what's going to make you great. You cannot succeed without this risk of failure. You cannot have a voice without the risk of criticism. And you cannot love without the risk of loss. You must go out and you must take these risks.
You don't have the time to waste time, because time doesn't wait till you discover your purpose. If you don't know why you was born, time is still moving. And if you discover your purpose at 90 years old, it's too late.
You don't know how young you are. What if you die in 2 years? You're pretty old right now. You got 2 years left. And if you're 50 years old and you're feeling discouraged, well, remember the advice about planting a tree. When's the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago or today? So if you're 50 and you feel like life left you behind, well, get started right now. Better late than never. Better late than never. Don't think about time and age so much. It gets people distracted. When the whole world's distracted, you be focused.
You have to trust your own voice, your own ideas, your honesty, your vulnerability, and through this you will find your way. You do not have to be fearless. Just don't let fear stop you. Live like this as best you can, and I guarantee you will look back on a life well lived. You are capable of greatness in your profession, and more importantly, in your quality of self. Stay hungry. Stay young at heart. Take those risks. You are going to change the world around you in big ways and in small.
But see, anybody, if you want to, can go searching for a good plan, pick it, and start working it. And sure enough, as the time passes, as it surely will 5 years from now, 10 years from now, then you'll be winding up wearing what you want to wear, driving what you want to drive, living where you want to live, become what you want to become. But now's the time to fix the next 10 years. And who can? Anybody.
You were created to give life and make a difference with your gift somewhere. That's why you came to this place.
You want to improve? You want to get better? You want to get on a workout program or a clean diet? You want to start a business? You want to write a book or make a movie or build a house or a computer or put together some mobile application? Where do you start? You start right here. And when do you start? You start right now. You initiate the action aggressively. You go.
Do not fall into the trap, the entitlement trap, of feeling like you're a victim. You are not. Get over it and get on with it. And yes, most things are more rewarding when you break a sweat to get them. Look, we're gonna make mistakes. You gotta own them. Then you gotta make amends. And then you gotta move on. Guilt and regret kills many a man before their time. Turn the page. Get off the ride. You are the author of the book of your life. Turn that page.
He who says he can and he who says he can't are both usually right. The
first step before anybody else in the world believes it is you have to believe it. There's no reason to have a plan B because it distracts from plan A.
You're born with a gift. If not that, then you get good at something along the way. And what you're good at, you don't take for granted. You don't betray it.
There's no easy way around it. No matter how talented you are, your talent is going to fail you if you're not skilled. You know, if you don't study, if you don't work really hard and dedicate yourself to being better every single day, you'll never be able to communicate with people, with your artistry, the way that you want.
Here is how you can assure yourself to enjoy yourself during the process of whatever it is you're trying to achieve. I want you to get this, because it starts as soon as you open up your eyes in the morning or whenever it is that you start the day. As soon as you open up your eyes to greet the day, you enter into consciousness. It is at that moment that your creativity is at its most powerful. Right there and then, you have an opportunity to steer your thoughts and your emotions in the direction that you want them to go, not in the direction that they're telling you to go. In other words, you can literally choose to seize the day, or you can let the day seize you.
Every time you lose at something, you're one step closer to winning the next time. The difference between successful people and not successful people, let's call it that way, are people give up. People wake up every morning, they have doubt, they have fear, they lose in a Ferrari race or they lose in a race, and then they just give up. The hardest thing in life to learn is to lose. Winning's easy. You win, you're happy, you get a high five, your friends are happy. It's your ability to take a loss, get up the next day, dust yourself off, and keep going.
Nothing works the first time. When you try something new, it probably won't work.
Every failed experiment is one step closer to success. You've got to take risks. If you don't fail, you're not even trying. To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did.
Your life is what you think it should be. That's exactly what you are right now. You are what you thought you should be. And if you don't like who you are, you got to change what you think you should be. What you think is more important than what you do. And so if you want to change, you got to work on this attitude bit.
Well, you have to keep yourself focused on whatever your ultimate goal is. There's stumbling blocks all the way. People get laid off, you have a bad game, you get traded from a team that you don't want to be with. But if your goal and your focus remains the same, that, hey, this is going to happen, and I know I have the skills and I have the knowledge and I have the instincts to dig myself out of this hole, you will dig yourself out of the hole. You have to control the situation. Don't let the situation control you.
So you need to foster the belief in what you are dreaming so that it becomes a reality, which is very different than saying, I don't expect anybody to believe it until I see it. You need people to believe it before they can see it.
When you take on a massive change, whether it's trying to diet after a lifetime of being overweight, or maybe running your first race after a lifetime of never ever exercising, or maybe it's starting to date again after you lost your spouse to cancer, when you confront something that's going to require you to change.
Do not fall into the trap, the entitlement trap, of feeling like you're a victim. You are not. Get over it and get on with it. And yes, most things are more rewarding when you break a sweat to get them. Look, you're gonna make mistakes. You gotta own them. Then you gotta make amends. And then you gotta move on. Guilt and regret kills many a man before their time. Turn the page. Get off the ride. You are the author of the book of your life. Turn that page.
He who says he can and he who says he can't are both usually right. The first step before anybody else in the world believes it is you have to believe it. There's no reason to have a plan B because it distracts from plan A.
born with a gift. If not that, then you get good at something along the way. And what you're good at, you don't take for granted. You don't betray it.
There's no easy way around it. No matter how talented you are, your talent is going to fail you if you're not skilled. You know, if you don't study, if you don't work really hard and dedicate yourself to being better every single day, you'll never be able to communicate with people, with your artistry, the way that you want.
Winners don't do different things, they do things differently. And many times people ask, what do they do differently? One, folks, winners form the habit of doing things that losers don't like to do. And what are the things that losers don't like to do? They're the same things that winners don't like to do either, but they do it anyway. Losers don't like to get up in the morning. Winners don't like to get up in the morning either, but they get up anyway. Folks, losers don't like to work hard. Winners don't like to work hard either, but they work hard anyway. Winners form the habit of doing things that losers don't like to do. Folks, someone asked, are positive thinkers fools? Don't they recognize we all have limitations in life? Folks, don't we all have limitations in life? Yes, no. Folks, the answer to that is winners are not fools. Winners recognize their limitations but focus on their strength. Losers recognize their strength but focus on their weaknesses. Folks, this one sentence is so powerful, it can change anybody's life. Let me repeat. Winners recognize their weaknesses, but focus on their strength. And losers recognize their strength, but focus on their limitations. They learn to turn a weakness into a strength. I'm going to share with you a prime example. How can a person turn a weakness into a strength, folks? Our greatest weakness can become our greatest strength. There was a company that used to publish Bibles. They hired a salesperson, and they gave him a very unproductive territory. And folks, within a very short time, in the most unproductive territory, this person became the top-selling person in the company. They had an annual convention. Typically, they invite the best salesperson to the dais so he could share. When he came to the dais, folks, they found this person couldn't speak properly. He was a stammerer, a stutterer. Folks, I'm going to mimic a little, but if anybody here is suffering from that kind of a disability, please take it constructively. I'm not making fun at all. I'm just making a point here. He came to the dais, and they asked him, how come you are the best salesperson in the country? He said, when I go door to door and I knock a door when the lady or the man used to open, I used to say, ma'am, you don't have to buy these Bibles at all. I can read it for free, or you can buy it, it's up to you. They said, don't read it, we will buy it. Don't read it, we will buy it. Can you imagine, folks? He turned a weakness in life into a strength. Our greatest weakness in life can become our greatest strength. I'll share with you. Folks, the other day I was passing by and I picked up a newspaper clipping. Yeah. In the newspaper, this was about a year and a half ago in India. It says Karate Kid KO's handicap with the roundhouse kick. KO's his knocks out. Karate Kid KO's handicap with a roundhouse kick. A 15-year-old boy, he has a polio kid, paralyzed waist down. He is representing the state in national martial art. Hello? A polio kid representing the state in national martial art. He's not fighting disabled, he's fighting people like you and me with 2 legs. And they asked him, how did you do it? He said, when I started it was very painful. But he said, because of my polio, I am able to swing my leg 180 degrees and slap the person on the face, which people with 2 normal legs can't take a 180-degree swing. Hello. Look at this. Folks, he turned a weakness into a strength. Remember one thing, folks. People who have to do things in life, they do it in spite of problem, not in absence of. And people who don't have to do it, you give them everything in life, they will still never do it. There are many, many examples. How many of you heard a group called MAD in the United States, Mothers Against Drunk Drivers? Anybody heard that group? Yeah, MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Drivers. There was a lady, she had a little girl, a drunk driver killed her. She got so angry that day. And you hear anger is a weakness. She got so angry that day, she said, I'm not going to let this kind of thing happen to another child or their parent. And she formed an organization called MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, and started a membership drive and went from one town to the other to the other. Today, I believe she's in over 21 countries, and she is changing the laws in the United States Congress. One woman got angry. Hello? One woman got angry, and look what she did. Folks, many times you hear people saying, I'm only one person, what can one person do? Folks, whenever history has been made, always one person did it. Masses never did it. And go check all through history. Positive thinkers have always been in minority, but they have always been a one-man army. Always. It is well said. Masses never created history, always one person did it. If you want to be successful in life, just see what the masses are doing. Do the opposite, you'll be successful. Hello? Folks, going against the grain takes a lot of guts and conviction. Hello? Going against the grain takes a lot of guts and conviction. And that is what is called leadership.
Putting things off is the biggest waste of time. It snatches away each day as it comes and denies us the present by promising the future. Wow. And he also says the present is short, the future is doubtful, and the past is certain. There's powerful words right there. And look, I don't know about you guys, but I've been to way too many funerals lately to be putting anything off anymore. I've had quite a few people around me die lately, and it's not fun, I tell you that. And I think another thing that we tend to do way too much is that we tend to focus on the minor things. You know, we play the small game way too often. And if you look at people like, Donald Trump, Oprah Winfrey, Steve Jobs, Richard Branson, You know, all these high achievers, they say the same thing. They say, think big. These guys live it. They think big. They build big towers and they make big things happen. And the thing is, too many people are worried about their makeup, what they look like, and how many likes they have on their Instagram pics or how many comments they have. These are the minors. And if you focus on the minors, you're going to be left with the bare minimum, and that's the truth. But if you focus on the majors, you're going to get the big hits. It's simple math, right? Do your math. Where is your thermostat at? And I'm not talking about financial thermostat, but I'm talking about your happiness thermostat, your experience thermostat, your love thermostat. Are you taking each of these thermostats to level 10? Or are you just playing this halfway on some level and something else you're kind of just doing it on 2 or 1? Or are you getting sidetracked by society's insecurities like reality TV shows or even, commercial products and things like that are out there that other people are actually making